So if you're looking to play BOSSK in Star Wars Battlefront 2 and you want to need some help with star cards, this is the place to be, man. This has been my main character for a long time in this game. So let's get right into it. I won't keep you guys waiting. The first card, Name Your Poison, super good, especially if you're a new BOSSK player. Later on, you really don't need it, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, this 30 health regen per second when you're new to Oxus Grenade is basically going to take you from 25 health per second to 55, which is on par with a lot of other heroes. Actually, a little higher than a lot of heroes by 5. So I would highly recommend you start out with this card. Obviously, it's the first one you get, so that's perfect. And you'll be able to get that extra health per second. Secondly, Trap Arming Speed. Again, this is another card that I think when you're starting out with BOSSK, it's going to save your life a ton of times. But once you get better with him, that extra 1 or 2 seconds of the mines taking the arm and blow up is not going to make a difference. Because you'll be able to dodge for those 1 or 2 seconds and you'll be perfectly fine. But if you're starting out with BOSSK, definitely get used to kind of having this. And once you think you're comfortable with it, then you can take it off. Spreading the Disease, this card does not work, so don't even bother with it. I've tested it out myself after people said it didn't work. I actually never even touched this card, but I kind of heard about it and then I tested it, so it does not work. Make sure you don't use it. Sniper Expert, 2.5 seconds of super cooldown, so basically the gold gun is what I call it. Not worth it at all. It's just 2.5 seconds is terrible. Unrelenting Predator, now even in trooper modes, I don't think this one's even worth it. The 14 seconds, you have to get kills with Predator Instincts active. Yeah, it's going to help you get your mines back and such, but I don't think it's really worth the card slot for 14%. Predator Resilience, and this is the card I currently do use. I'll talk about a setup I recommend for new players on my own towards the end. But this card, 20% DR damage reduction, is always going to be nice on any character. And it may not seem like a lot, but when you have your main ability, which is going to be you lobbing grenades at people and jumping around and avoiding them and doing all sorts of things, dancing on your mines, that 20% can definitely save your life a lot more than something like Name Your Poison would. Because it's automatically going to make you take 20% less damage, and an average saber swing to the front is 130. So think about 20% less of that. You know, take a few more hits, and just in general, any sort of shooter shooting at you, you're going to be able to take less damage. Multi-traps, this is a must-have card. I don't care who you are. I don't care what level of boss player you are. This is what makes him actually a decent character. If he didn't have this, he would be even harder to use, and he's already a high skill ceiling character, one of the mid-tier characters in the game. Obviously, certain maps he's insane. But BOSSK overall is not really the best character in the game. So definitely make sure you always have this on. Ultimate Predator, 30% recharge of his Predator Instincts when you get a kill with it, which I think is pretty good. Even in troop modes, it's still kind of iffy. Just being able to, you have to 2-hit every single trooper. That's even a normal one, so it's 80 per grenade launcher lob, so that'd be 160. So you have to hit a normal trooper at least twice and a heavy 3 times to be able to get this. So again, is it really worth it? I mean, it's a pretty decent card. HVV, I've tried it out here and there, and I still don't find it very beneficial because you have to keep stacking kills. And a lot of times, if you want to do that, you would just usually use the ability when they're low and then just kill them, and then they're kind of just respawning. But if you do get a big group of enemies that are low, that's the only time you really see the benefit of this. Other than that, it's just an okay card that you can try out, but I have used it on some of my builds, and I think it's okay. Lastly, Linger into Oxus. Now, this card combined with Name Your Poison is absolutely elite. Just because you're going to get 12 seconds of 55 health regen if you stay in it. Once you're a better boss player, like I said, you really don't need that. I use the Oxus as mostly an offensive ability now. So there's no really point in having this if you're just going to be throwing the Oxus at a group of enemies instead of yourself. But again, if you're low and you want to be able to use this, you're going to be able to get full health regen damn near before anyone else shows up to try to attack you, depending on the map. So it is pretty nice. And it goes from 6-second duration to 12, so you got basically double. And the cooldown is 20 seconds. You got about 8 seconds of not even having docs, which isn't actually too long. So that's why I think this card is nice, and especially against Leia players with a shield or anything like that. A group of enemies, you're going to be able to do a bunch of tick damage, stop the regen, and just overall make the team split up, because a lot of times they see their health bar going down, they freak out, and then they start splitting up, going different directions, and you can just take them out one by one or 2 at a time kind of thing. So as far as the best setup for new players, this is the one I'd recommend, these 3 right here. Obviously, the Doxus. If you use these 2 together, you're going to have a lot longer health regen. But it's kind of hard to go away from Trap Arming when you're a new player, so I don't really recommend that. But as far as my current setup, this is the one I currently use most of the time. Sometimes I'll throw on Ultimate Predator. And so as I've gotten better with BOSSK, I've gone away from these 2 cards. These are kind of like I don't want to say handicap, but this is kind of like the helpful beginner cards, and then you get into the more kind of skilled advanced cards, I guess you could say. So pretty much if you guys want to start with BOSSK, go with these 3, and then once you get better off, you can go with these 3 or these 3 together. Because BOSSK, yeah, it's health regen slow, but if you know how to kind of avoid people, especially because you got Predator Resilience, you can see through, especially because you got Predator Instincts where you can see through walls, you can kind of just avoid people, get health, or stick by your team and you'll be okay. So I'll be subbing you guys out. Leave any comments down below if you have any questions. Be sure to like and subscribe as well, and hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.